Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Command Central, and I know what you're thinking. Where is the map? Where is everything else that you told me? Look, it's coming, alright? I'm just doing some final touches so you can have the maximum experience, and also I did not expect to reach over 300 subscribers this fast. It's scary. I have responsibilities now. Anyway, I'm going to be talking about me making world edit in Minecraft, and the reason why I've already done this is because I was using the wrong microphone, so unless you like watching a video like without sound, then yeah, you're going to get this video anyway. So I'm going to explain the various tools in here. There's the raise lower tool, and then these are super fills and super markers. Now I'm just going to go over the raise tool first. All you have to do is hold it down, and when you jump, the ground comes up with you, and when you hold shift and move around a little bit, the ground will go down. That's simple. Now, how does this work? Well, I've got a scoreboard objective, which is called World 1. Oh, this is for the collecting the items. If I click Disable World Edit, then my hotbar doesn't get filled. But if I click Enable World Edit, then this will just keep filling in my inventory. Now, how am I doing that? Well, the sign actually sets my score. You should know how I do that. And then I'm using the replace item command. You can just look it up. As for the these, I place it down and it says Supermarket. It already has a pre-written name. Now you can't do this with MC Stacker, but what I am doing, it's pretty simple. I am going, where is my MBT tag? Entity tag. This is a new secret feature that Surge added. And then, so entity tag, and then in your little brackets, it's just like a tag for the summon command, but it isn't, and you need a comma and colon and things like that. Anyway, so that's just replace item for that part, and when I disable it, I'm just changing my score. As for the raise lower, very simple actually. One thing detects if I am holding it, and so let's go scoreboard objective, set display sidebar raise. So you can see when I'm holding it, it's 1, and when I'm not holding it, it's 0. So when I'm holding it, it gets set to 1. I've covered this in a previous video. I will link it in the description. It sets my score of raise to 0, and the reason why, to 2, and the reason why it goes back to 0 is because I have a removal system right here. Now, when I jump, it executes a clone command. Now, this is interesting. It's clone as normal with the execute command when it detects air. However, you have to add replace move because source and destination cannot overlap unless you put in those tags specifically, in which case it will move the objects. Oh, and just to prove that I'm not pulling your leg about that, I'm going to raise this structure. See? Do you believe me now? Only downside is that you have to be right above the structure for it to completely clone properly, otherwise you're using a smooth tool basically. So if I do this above, hey, the whole thing gets cloned up. Anyway, for the downwards motion, I've added a score, which goes, where is it? Oh, I don't actually have it here. It's scoreboard, objectives, add, and I've called it lower, and then it's a stat, which is distance. Oh yeah, it's called crouch 1 cm, and then I will actually set the sidebar with lower. Okay, so as you see, when I move around, that kind of jitters a bit. That's just my sneak going up a lot, and every time it reaches a certain point, it gets set back to 0. So when I'm sneaking, that score gets executed and the clone command happens again, only backwards. Now, I'm going to move on to my favorite feature. Let's get rid of that because that's dangerous. Oh, I did destroy this command block creation a few times. Yeah, let's disable that and get rid of it. I might think of a different way to disable and enable. Alright, so I want to copy this structure, but I want to copy it all the way up there somewhere. How the heck am I supposed to go about that? Well, it's pretty easy, actually. So I have my superfill down there. Super marker right here, and you'll see an area starts to get selected, and before you know it, this complex design has been cloned all the way up there, just like that. And the cool thing about it is this little visual thing. So it tells you what area it's selecting. I think that's pretty cool. As for the bit below, you're just going to have to know that. But if I say, well, I don't really like this section in the middle, let's get rid of it. There's no reason why you can't do that. Yeah, sometimes if your chunks aren't working, then it will take a while to update. But if you go, no, I only want that to update to this point here, then all you have to do is block it off, and it won't select that area anymore, as you can see. So, if I decide, let's make it blue again, right here, then it will be blue. Well, it won't be blue actually, because you cut off the stream. Nothing will change below this point. You can change above it. Well, yeah, you can change above the point. Well, below, oh, you know what I mean. You can see it. But anything below that marker that you've left will be unchanged, no matter what you do. Pretty nifty stuff, right? And it works in all directions. So when you want to select your other area, you have to put your selection area right here. You've got to bear that in mind. Let's go all the way up here, and we'll just set the block here. And then you place down your marker, and then if it's aligned correctly, it should all happen again. Am I right? This has to be a super fill in order for it to work. That's a bit of a fail-safe. There we go, so it's selecting the area, and it's building up. Oh, I think, yeah, the area was a bit small, so it cloned the quartz here. Now, here's a fun thing you can do. I will show you. All you have to do is change two numbers in order to change how far down you want to go. So just like that, it's going to clone the 4 blocks now and correct the mistake. Simple as that. Isn't that impressive? Shall we just get onto the redstone now? I think so. Wait, no, it's not redstone. They're command blocks. Very different things. So each section is for the 4 directions. Oops. So first of all, I'm using the DX selection thing. So if you're not familiar with that, then I can go, let's go test for @e DZ equals 10. Alright, and it says found Jragon 14, found Supermark. Because I'm actually checking for blocks that are 10 blocks in front of me in my DZ direction. If I move over here, it doesn't detect it. So that's what I've done over here. So the first thing it does is execute from the superfill, and then executes from the supermark, and then it will summon something that I will summon another armor stand that will go in that direction. Now that armor stand is summoning other armor stands that go in a downwards direction. Now I'm not going to go through all this, but basically the entity data have been constantly set. So here's one east fill is being moved east, and then the down fills will clone it. Now the reason why there's 2 versions is because one clones to the -z and the other clones to the -x. If one was just to one direction, then it just wouldn't work. So that's why there's 2 of them, and that's why there's 2 diamond blocks there. Now, as for the selection bit where I did that, and the armor stands actually disappeared, that's just a score that's being set, and once it stops detecting air, then the score will be allowed to decrease, and then it will kill the armor stand. One last thing, the superfill is also detecting down fills and directional fills, and then it's just killing them. So here's an example. Kill @e, name equals downfill, dy equals 200. So if it goes above him, provided it's 200 blocks above, then it will destroy it. Yeah. What's this? Oh, nothing much. Just cloning a skyscraper to the top. You know, as you do. Moment of truth. This is serious business here. Oh my god. It's working. I'm 22 frames per second. It's working, it's working, it's still going. It's very laggy. It's actually server lag. This isn't even a server. Yeah, I recommend if you're gonna do this, be careful. But look at that, it's cloning every floor pretty much perfectly. Now will it do the last section? Oh yes. I can't believe that worked. First try too. Wow. Now, how can you not be impressed with that? Oh, it does look a little bit glitchy. Oh, because the top layer doesn't really work properly for some reason, but how can you complain? Look at all this. Well, this is the first layer. It's been perfectly cloned. Every single floor. Yeah, I'm still thrilled about that, even though I've seen it so many times, but it still just blows my mind how you can just do something like that so easily thanks to this command. So, thank you very much for watching this episode. I know it was a short one. I'm sorry about the video. There's not much I can do about that, but I know how to prepare for it next time. But I didn't. So I'm kind of hoping that this is working. In fact, yes, it should be. Okay. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any suggestions for this particular command, I've still got room for more, then please suggest them, because I actually am not familiar with the world editors command. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. I will see you in the next one.